let's meet tonight's starting lineup for your Hayes Larks. Jack Tarosian. Batting second, playing right field from the University of Texas at Arlington, number 6, Hunter Rawson. Batting third, playing third base from Kansas City Community College, number 12, Palmer Hutchinson. Batting fourth and catching for the Larks from Houston Baptist University, number 26, Tyler LaRue. Batting fifth, playing left field from the University of Tennessee, number 33, Dylan Dreiling. Batting sixth, the first baseman from Murray State, number 20, Garrett Gruel. Batting seventh, playing shortstop from the University of Tennessee, number 3, Austin Jaslow. Batting eighth for the Larks from Murray State, the designated hitter, number 7, Brady Evans. And batting ninth for the Larks, playing second base from Arizona Western College, number 4, Ben Firenze. Tonight, making the pitching start for the Larks, 0-0 on the season with 1 save, from the University of Oklahoma, number 28, Cade Brown. Ladies and gentlemen, in his 40th season with the Larks, please welcome the head coach, Mr. Frank Leo. Larks pitching coach is Keith Harper. Assistant coach is Andy Luton.
You're tuned in to the Larks Network.
Welcome back to Larks Park and Larks Network. This is game 1 of 3 between your Larks and the Fort Collins Foxes. On the mound getting the start for Larks is Cade Brown, his second of the summer, and he fires in a first pitch strike. It is a scorcher here in Hayes, 102 degrees Fahrenheit at Larks Park. And that's even with the game being bumped back 30 minutes from the normal start time. 1 ball, 1 strike to lead off man. It is Henry Fleckner, the shortstop, out at Tufts University. He's a Massachusetts native. Sends his third pitch to Ferenzi, bounces once, gets to the glove, and he throws to Gruel in time. 1 up, 1 down for Cade Brown of the Larks.
The center fielder, number 38, Tyler Attal.
To Tyler Attal we go. He's out of Bates College, the Los Angeles native. He's going up against the Franklin, Tennessee native. Brown, no record this season despite making 4 appearances. He's thrown 5 innings, striking out 2, walking 2. 7 hits allowed, 2 earned runs, makes for an ERA at 3.60. No record, but he did pick up a save against the Dodge City A's, and it was a very clutch one. That was on the 28th, where he came in through the 9th inning. 1 hit allowed, 1 walk, but kept him off the scoreboard. Larks won 6-5. 1-1 count to Attal. Norson on deck. Jamison in the hole for the Fort Collins Foxes. Hayes comes in this game 23-7 on the summer, 16-3 in league play. A league game happening tonight. They're in second place, 1.5 games back behind the Liberal BJs. As for the Foxes, different tail of the tape over there. 5-15 on the year, and 5-15 in league play. All their games, league games. They're in 7th place. 12.5 games back, just 1 game over the Rough Riders, avoiding last place. 3 balls and a strike. Cade Brown will walk his 3rd batter of the season through 5 1/3. Attal is at first base with 1 away.
The first baseman, number 24, Drew Norson.
2 very different teams right here. Larks have dominated a lot of this year and have played a lot of games. As for the Fort Collins Foxes, they've lost, again, 15 of their 20 games. This is their first game in 6 days. They just don't be playing a lot. Ground ball goes up the middle. Ferenzi comes in front of second base and decides to go to first with it. It rolled right past Brown. He couldn't make a play on it. Norson will be on at first, but Attal moves into scoring position at second place on the ground out to Ferenzi.
The third baseman, number 23, Henry Jamison.
2-away runner at second for Henry Jamison, the cleanup hitter. Getting the start at third base tonight. He's out of Bates College as well. St. Simons Island native, down in Georgia. 2-away runner in scoring position. Do it for the Larks in the bottom half of the inning to Rosie and Rawson and Hutchison. Late on the swing here is Jamison. He will foul it off. Larks lost to Fort Collins in Fort Collins. On the 1st of July, it was an ugly game, just uncharacteristic. The Fort Collins Foxes couldn't touch Brady Rose. He threw 4 1/3, hitless. But we had to pull him because of his pitch counts. And that's when things started to go a little bit towards the Fort Collins Fox, but we just couldn't get our bats going. We had 17 flyouts that game. It was an ugly one. Larks lost 4-3 in that game. Henry Jamison, who's at the plate right now, batted cleanup and went 0 for 3. No balls, 2 strikes. Brown 1 strike away of keeping him off the scoreboard. Pitch home again late on the swing. 0-2. Will stay the counts. 1 on deck. Jordan in the hole for the visiting Fort Collins Foxes. Larks played Fort Collins a few times last year, beat him in every game. Oh, 2 home. Same situation. Late on the swing, he has to send it to the right side and foul. Jamison this year at the plates, batting .366 through 20 games. He's picked up 26 hits, 22 of them singles, 2 doubles, and 2 home runs. No balls, 2 strikes, 2-away runner at second base, and a scoreless top half of the first inning. And Tyler LaRue will step up from behind the plate and go out and chat with Cade Brown. Just wants One more strike to send us to the bottom of the first inning. Cade Brown's last appearance with the Larks was against Dodge City. It was a start on the 6th. Through 2 innings. Gave up 2 hits, no earned runs, a walk, no strikeouts. This is his first appearance on the mound against a team not named the Dodge City Ace since June 11th. Defense straight up. And the 0-2 home. Grounded past Cade Brown. Ferenzi will save it from going to the outfield. Make a beautiful throw to first base. And Ferenzi saves a run and gets the 3rd out of the first inning. And the Larks keep the Fort Collins Foxes on the scoreboard. To the bottom half we go. We're scoreless in downtown Hayes. Bottom of inning number 1, Jack Terosian will lead off another game. He's getting the start in center field tonight and will face up against the Fort Collins Foxes. His first pitch is a fastball that misses outside 1-0 to the Larks center fielder out of Creighton University. Rawson on deck, Hutchison in the hole for Hayes. Terosian in his last effort, a 2-for-4 ball game, was one of the lone bright spots in a 13-2 loss. Fly ball goes about 15 feet in the front of the 349 marker in right center field, and Terosian will be the first out of the first inning for the Larks offense.
From the University of Texas at Arlington, the right fielder, number 6, Hunter Rawson.
To the box with nobody on and one away, it's the Ohio State Buckeye, Hunter Rawson. Hutchison on deck, LaRue in the hole. On the mound is a guy who threw a memorable game against the Larks on the 1st of July, and one that I'm sure his shoulder felt the next day. It's Jackson Lund out of Purdue Northwest. Against the Larks on the 1st of July, 10 innings pitched, 144 pitches. It was a part of back-to-back complete games for him on the mound, going 10 innings, picking up the win. Pop fly into center field, and Hunter Rawson will be reeled in. His bone will be reeled in by Atoll, And that will be out number 2 of the first.
Third baseman, number 12, Homer Hutchinson.
Not only did Lund pitch against the Larks in that game, he hit as well. But on the mound, he gave up 11 hits, 3 earned runs, 5 walks, hit 1 batter, and struck out 5 Larks. Two-way base is empty for Palmer Hutchison. Jackson Lund continues to look good against the Larks on the bump. Outside of Lund, the pitching has been shaky for the Foxes, but they're going to throw him as much as they can. He's a senior at Purdue Northwest and kind of confirms some suspicions some of the guys on the Larks had. It's got to be his last time playing baseball, otherwise no way you let yourself throw 144 pitches, but he did it on the first and works a 1-2-3 inning here on the 14th. Larks, DeRosie, and Ross and Hutchison all up, all down the first inning. To the second we go. We're scoreless here in Hayes. Leading off the second inning for the Fort Collins Foxes is Jackson Lund, the pitcher who worked a 1-2-3 first. Bullpen door open down in right field, so home plate umpire Randy Jordan sends the Fort Collins Fox out of the dugout to go and close it, so we're good. Slider from Brown misses the zone 1-0 to the pitcher out of Purdue Northwest. He's got Jordan on deck, Irvin in the hole. In the first inning, Foxes, no hits, a walk. They left 1 on base, no runs scored. Brown's second pitch in the zone, no 1 ball, 1 strike. Jackson Lund this year at the plates, batting .261 through 11 games at the plate, including this one. Fly ball, 1 ball, 2 strikes. It is hot here in Hayes, but a strong wind moving in from center field helps us out a little bit, but it is still scorching, especially when you're out there on the field. That turf just reflects the heat right back into you. Brown goes for the outside part of the plate, doesn't get the call. Larks were in Augusta on Tuesday to take on the Cannons, an embarrassing loss. That was just, Larks couldn't get anything going. It was a very uncharacteristic game, but look to bounce back here as K. Brown strikes out his first of the day, third of the season, gets the first down in the second inning. But Larks lost 13-2 on Tuesday, had yesterday off, and are starting 6 games over the course of 6 days here today. We're going to have a lot more, and we'll have a few days off after this. We'll have 6 more games. We're at Larks Park the rest of the season. As I mentioned, it's Cade Brown's third strikeout of the season, according to the Game Changer. Last year for the Larks, he had 55 strikeouts and was second on the team. He only threw 32 and a third, or 32 flat actually. This one sent to the backstop, 1-1. This year he's seeing less action on the mound. There's been a lot of games where Cade's supposed to come out of the bullpen and then just, we've run rule teams, so we don't get to play those 8th and 9th innings when he's supposed to come in. Cade this year has not thrown more than 2 innings, and that was in his last appearance, and it was a start. 1-1 pitch, swung on and missed. Lark's going to see how long he can throw today, especially having, again, 6 games over the course of 6 days at the ballpark. Don't want to use a ton of arms tonight. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Pitch misses above the letters, 2-2. We'll get you the defensive alignment after this at bat. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 1 away, bases empty here in the second inning. It's going to miss outside. Jordan thought about swinging at it, doesn't. He's working a full count. Jordan tonight's right fielder. He's out of Lock Haven University. He's a Langhorne, Pennsylvania native. LaRue sets up down the middle. The payoff pitch is home. Step back and a swing from Jordan. He sends it off the skinny part of his bat and out of play. Jack DeBrosian playing really in center field right now. Swing and a miss. It doesn't matter where he's playing. The ball's not going to him. It goes to the glove of LaRue. Cade Brown has struck out both batters of the second inning.
The catcher, number 9, Landon Irvin.
2 away, bases empty for the third batter of the inning. The 7th batter in the game, Landon Irvin, tonight's catcher. Out of Henderson State, Forney, Texas native. Pitch home outside. Cade really not giving them much inside tonight. He's trying to make him have to reach for it. Outside, 2 balls, no strikes. Cade has only appeared in 1 non-league game this season. That was on the home opener on the 3rd of June. Pitched 1 inning, no hits, no walks, no runs. Struck out his first batter of the season. Before this strikeout to start the second inning, he had thrown 4 consecutive innings without a strikeout. But no runs in those 4 innings. So it doesn't really matter too much. He's getting the outs. Strike 1 of the at-bat. It's a 3-1 count to Irvin. Do it for the Larks in the bottom half of the second inning. LaRue, Drowling, and Gruel, 4, 5, and 6 hitters for Hayes. 3-1 home, flown to right field. Hunter Rawson moves into foul territory and comes up with the ball, and he will help Cade Brown work a 1-2-3 seconds. Brown's retired 5 in a row and sends us to the bottom half of the second, scoreless. Leading off the bottom half of the second inning for Hayes is Tyler LaRue. He grounds his first pitch to Fleckner at the shortstop spot, who fields it and throws to first. 4 down for the Larks to get things started. It takes us to Dylan Drowning, 1 away in the second inning. Base is empty for the left fielder out of Hayes, Kansas.
From the University of Tennessee, the left fielder, number 33, Dylan Drowning.
Gruel on deck, Jaslove in the hole for Hayes. Both teams hitless. Here in the second inning, Larks have yet to get a guy to reach. Drowning looking to be the first, and he will do it. Grounds one between Norson and Jamison on the right field side and puts himself on a 10-game hitting streak, the longest active streak on the Larks roster.
The first baseman from Murray State, number 20, Garrett Gruel.
Takes us to Garrett Gruel with his new walk-up song. He will bat 6 tonight and get his first start at first base, the first time he's played for the Larks, not at DH or in the outfield. 1 away, Drowning at first base. Lund sets up, delivers home, catches the outside part of the plate. Calling strike here to the Murray State College Aggie. Gruel in his last game, 1 for 4. Excuse me, 1 for 2. Much better than 1 for 4. He did not play against Fort Collins on the 1st of July. Pop fly into right field. It will drop. Well placed. Dylan Drowning looks to go first to third. And Jordan won't get his throw into the infield before Drowling's at third base. That's back-to-back base hits. Runners on the corners thanks to Garrett Gruel and Dylan Drowling. Dylan Drowling now with 3 hits in his career against the Foxes.
Tennessee, number 3, Austin Jaslove.
Runners on the corners for Austin Jaslove. Garrett Gruel has played in 9 games for the Larks and is on a 9-game hitting streak. After that base hit to right field. First pitch to Jaslove in the zone, called strike. Gruel at first, Drowning at third. Jaslove at the plates. Has spent a lot of time at the bottom 3 in the order. And mostly in that 7th spot for the Larks as of recently. One ball and a strike, 1 away for Jaslove. Jaslove on Tuesday, 1 for 3, striking out 2 times. Against the Foxes, Jaslove is 0 for 0 with no at-bats. He did play in that game as a pinch runner and then played a little bit of defense, but didn't get a record on that bat. It was a 4-3 win for the Fort Collins Foxes. In the game, Hutchison had a home run, Drowning with a double. 2-1, Jackson Lund's fourth batter of the inning will send this one to right field. Larks working a 3-hit seconds. And Jaslove, in his first at bat in his career against the Foxes, gets his first hit, drives in Dylan Drowling. It is 1-0 Larks. Larks looking good against Lund here in the second inning after struggling against him in Fort Collins. Gruel was safe on the throw to seconds. RBI for Austin Jaslov, number 24. Dylan Drelling scores his 31st run of the season. He's in third place behind Terosian and Rawson. Gruel at second base, Jaslov at first for the Larks. They only have one out. They start off with the LaRue ground out to Fleckner. Since then, Dreiling, Jaslov, and Gruel have all singled to right field. Brady Evans at the plate, his first game in a little bit after injuring his shoulder. He's getting the start in DH tonight, so easing him back into action, not doing any catching, but he will get a swing the bat. One away, first pitch to Evans, called strike. One just thrown first pitch strikes tonight, especially in this second inning. Every batter he's faced has started out with a first pitch strike. 0-1 home. Evans takes it opposite field on the ground. It rolls into the grass. Frank Leo holds Garrett Gruel at third base. Larks with 4 straight singles to the right side. Loads the bases. Gruel at third. Jaslov at second. Brady Evans at first base. After their hits, Jaslov now on a 10-game hitting streak. Brady Evans on a 2-game hitting streak. Jaslov and Drelling tied for the team lead, each with 10 games on their active hitting streak. Bases loaded for the man at the bottom of the order. He batted second in the Larks' last game and is batting ninth tonight. Went 0 for 3 on Tuesday, but against the Fort Collins Foxes on the first. Batted at the bottom of the order and had a 2-hit effort. One away, first pitch to Ben Ferenzi. 9 first pitch strikes for Jackson Lund. One batter has seen a first pitch ball, but still Lund, not one to walk anybody. He hasn't yet, but he's given up 4 hits through 1 1/3. Pitch number 2 to Ferenzi. He goes for that same corner, misses it. A 1-1 count to the Aussie out of Arizona Western. Ferenzi this year at Arizona Western, .329 batting average with a .455 on base percentage. One, he hits it well, finds the barrel. It goes to left field, but Huffer makes a beautiful catch in the corner to rob the Larks of a couple runs.
Dylan Hupfer from Fort Hays State in left field.
Garrett Gruel was not tagging. He was running home. It sure looked like it was going to drop. Just a beautiful play from Hupfer. Jaslov was ready to run, but they were robbed of a hit. That's Dylan Hupfer in left field. He's used to playing at Larks Park. He plays for the Fort Hays State Tigers, and he's a Fort Collins native. Frank Leo had a talk with Garrett Gruel. Sure, he wished that his guy was tagging up, and that's probably what they were talking about. 2 away, bases loaded for Jack Terosian, who flew out to Jordan in the first inning for the first out of the Larks' offensive day. Top of the order, bottom of the second. Larks already scored a run off of 4 hits. We got Gruel on third, Jaslov at second, Evans at first base. And Jack Terosian will take this out to number 1 on his jersey and bring home Garrett Gruel. Most painful way you can drive in an RBI. He picks up his 19th RBI this season on the 6th time he's been hit by a pitch.
The right fielder, number 6, Hunter Rawson.
And scoring from third is Garrett Gruel. Garrett Gruel now with 12 runs scored this season. Coming up to the plate is Hunter Rawson, and when the mound visit, let's talk about Hunter Rawson for a second. Rawson, as you can see on your screen, just committed to Ohio State within the past week. He's going to go up to Ohio and play for the Buckeyes. Talking to him, I know he's excited about it. Gets to go to a good school and a cool spot, but it sounds like he's going to get a play right away for the Buckeyes. So awesome for Hunter. Always love seeing Larks go to new places and keep working their way up and eventually reach their goal of getting to the big leagues. Bases loaded. It's Rosen with the RBI. Gruel with the run score. We got Jazz at third. Evans at second. It's Rosen at first base. Ground ball goes to left side. Jamison can't make a play on it. It rolls into the grass. And on the E5, Hunter Rawson will reach at first base, but since it was an error, he won't be credited with the RBI. But Jaslove will be credited with the run scored. 3-0 Larks. Bases loaded for the Hayes native, Palmer Hutchison. Hutchison, the 8th batter of the inning. Evans at third, Terosian at second, Rawson at first base. This one bounced to Lund on the mound. He sprints to first base, tosses it, and heads the dugout pretty quickly. Wanted to get off the mound after a long second inning. Larks leave the bases loaded yet again this season, but they do pick up 3 runs and bring 9 to the plate. So third we go, Hayes up by a trio. Leading off the third inning is Turner Jamison. Sends a ground ball to Palmer Hutchison, who slides forward, goes off his glove. And it goes into foul territory. Scoreboard flashes E5, but I don't know. That was a tough play for Hutch. But I'll mark it the same way they do. So Turner Jamison reaches on the Hutchison error. Runner at first base with nobody out. The first leadoff base runner of the day for the Fort Collins Foxes. Called strike here to Dylan Hupford, the left fielder out of Fort Hays State University. As I mentioned in the last inning, he goes to Fort Hays, so he knows this ballpark pretty well. We'll see if he can send something into one of the more hitter-favorable parts of the outfield. Quick 0-2 counts. Cade Brown on the mound. This is his third inning of work. He gets one more out, and it'll be his longest outing of the season. Jamison at first base. Hupfer at the plates. 0-2 home from Brown. Line to right field. Goes off the foul wall. Foxes hitless through 2 innings. They walked once, scored no runs, and left 1 on. Before that error, Cade Brown had retired 5 straight. 2 groundouts to Ferenzi in that time period, a fly out to Rawson, and then back-to-back strikeouts. (0-2) Brown from the stretch. Over to the right side again, we will stay. No balls And 2 strikes to the left fielder from Fort Collins. Wind whipping in, ground ball goes to Hutchison. A little redemption, he throws to second in time, the throw to first in time. 5-4-3 double play. Hutch to Ferenzi to Gruhl. Double play turn for the Larks. Quickly 2 away as we go to the top of the order. Henry Fleckner, so Hutch makes up for that error and gets the Larks another double play on the season. Larks have now turned 26 double plays. This is their 31st game. Breaking ball from Brown in the zone. Good pitch for a strike. That one really had some break on it. Started high and inside. Eventually moved to the outside part of the plate and kind of thigh level. 0-1 home. Line drive into left center. It'll drop to Rosian. Will backhand it. It is the first hit of the day for the Fort Collins Foxes, and it comes from Henry Fleckner at the top of the order. So that puts a runner at first for Tyler Attal, who walked in the first inning. Brown's lone walk of the day, just his 3rd of the season. Brown's longest outing of the season. He's now gone 2 2/3. Brown with 2 career saves as a Lark, 1 this year, 1 last year. Had just 14 earned runs in 2021, 15 appearances, 10 in relief, 5 starts, going 4-1 for Hayes. 0-1 count here to the center fielder Attal out of Bates College. Late on the swing, 0-2. Fort Collins has been late on a lot of swings today. And they were late on a lot of swings against Brady Rose on the first. They just could not touch Rose. Rose threw 4 1/3 innings without a hit. They were just, their timing was so off in the swing, it was surprising almost when they put one into play. Throw down to first from LaRue. A little bit high, otherwise maybe it would have been closer. We will go 1-2 with the counts. Runner safe at first base. In those 4 1/3 innings, talking about how Brady Rose couldn't be touched, he got 18 swing and misses on 64 pitches. Brady Rose gets a lot of swing and misses. 1 out of every 4 pitches this season for him has been a swing and a miss. As for Cade Brown, he gets about 1 every 10. Not bad. Just tough to compare to Brady Rose, where that's his bread and butter. Brown gets balls put into play, but he still gets outs just like his teammate from Westminster, Colorado. Brown has given up 8 hits now this year through 7 2/3. Just 2 earned runs, 3 walks, 4 strikeouts. Coming up for the Larks in the bottom of this inning will be the same 3 that led off the second: LaRue, Dreiling, and Gruhl. 1-2 count to the center fielder. Brown's delivery from the stretch in the zone, chopped to the left side, goes to head coach and third base coach Isaac Weinberg of the Fort Collins Foxes. He's a former Fox himself and is now at the helm of the program. Normally, for the Larks, almost everybody is standing up against that fence of the dugouts, watch the game, but it's so hot, they're getting as much shade as they can. Almost everybody is sitting in the dugout for the Larks. Throw down to second is a really good one from Tyler LaRue, and Attal will be forced to lead off the 4th inning. Tyler LaRue throws out another guy this season and ends the top half of the 3rd inning. Cade Brown allows a hit, but Hutchison, Ferenzi, and Gruhl turn a double play, and then Tyler LaRue throws out his 4th runner stealing of the season. So the bottom half we go. Hayes leads by 3.
I'm a simple
Bottom of the third, LaRue will lead off another inning and ground outs on one pitch for the second time today. That'll take us to Dylan Dreiling. LaRue, he pitched on Tuesday and actually threw a perfect inning, 3 up, 3 down. It was his first outing of the season as the Larks. They let him throw on his birthday. So happy belated birthday to LaRue, but he looked good. I would not complain if we sent him back out again to the mound. Eyes on the bus, calling him Shohei Ohtani, doing both. He caught games this season, played at first base, DH'd. He hit in the last game and then came on and pitched. He just does a little bit of everything this summer for Hayes. Two balls and a strike to Dylan Dreiling, 1 away, and the bases are empty. Fort Collins threw 3 innings, 1 hit, 1 walk, no runs. He left 1 on base. As for the Larks, through their first 2 innings, 4 hits, 3 runs, 3 left on base, no walks, all numbers. Hits, runs, and left on base from that second inning where they brought every batter in the order to the plates. We had 4 straight singles from Dreiling, Gruel, and Jaslove and Evans. Dreiling looks for his second hit, lines it on the ground, foul. Jackson Lund on the bump. As I mentioned, he threw 144 pitches against the Larks on the 1st of July. He's sitting close to 30 right now. Fly ball to deep center field. Atal keeps moving back. He's going to have to try and basket catch one. He won't get to it. Lund complains on the mound to his catcher, but it drops in center field. Dylan Dreiling has another triple this season and has a 1-out runner at third base for Garrett Gruel. Dreiling's second triple of the summer. His last triple was just 4 days ago against the Outlaws right here at Larks Park, part of a 2 for 3 effort. Gruel at the plates. Dreiling at third base. Dreiling now just a home run and a double shy of the cycle. He's picked up 13 doubles and 5 home runs this season. There's a guy who can get 2 extra base hits over the course of 5 mornings. It's Shirley Dreiling. Dreiling tags up. Gruel sends it to left field. Hupfer gets under it. Dreiling sprints home. The throw isn't bad at all, but Dreiling will slide between the legs of Irvin. Good base running from Dreiling. Gets under the tag and will be safe at the plates. Lund and Irvin send Weinberg back to the dugouts. Not going to complain about it. They see that Dreiling was safe. Lund tells Hupfer, good throw from left field. It really was a good throw. Dreiling just fast enough to get home in time. Sacrifice fly for Garrett Gruel. Dreiling scores for the second time today, his 32nd run of the season, now tied with Rawson and Terosian for the team lead. Garrett Gruel with RBI number 11 as a Lark. 2 away, base is empty. For Austin Jaslove, it is 4-0 Hayes. Larks scored 4 over the course of 10 innings against Fort Collins on the first and have scored 4 through 2 2/3. This third inning will be over as Jaslove pops out to Jamison, but Dreiling and Gruel help the Larks score their 4th run of the contest, and they will take a 4-0 lead to the 4th inning in Hayes. Top of the fourth, it's the man who was at the plate just a few minutes ago, Tyler Raton. He walked in the first, was up in the third inning. Then LaRue gunned down Fleckner trying to steal second base. For Collins, working with one hit, a walk, no runs, they left one on base. 0-1 from Brown in the zone. Quick 2 strikes here on Atoll. First 3 innings take under an hour here at the ballpark. Cade Brown working in his 4th inning of action. The 0-2 home. Misses low. As I mentioned, he's never thrown more than 2 innings this season. He could double it with 3 outs here in this inning. We'll see if they let him work. They have Sam Hendon standing up in the pen for the Larks, but he's not throwing yet. 1-2 to right field. Hunter Rawson moves back. He's in foul territory again, and it drops on the other side of the fence. So we'll stay 1-2 with the counts. Brown's thrown a lot of pitches to its home. And hasn't even picked up a statistical at-bats. So he walked in the first, not an at-bats, and then his plate appearance in the 3rd inning was ended prematurely. 1-2 late on the swing, lines it foul. Cade Brown's longest outing last summer was 5 innings against the Rough Riders on July 19th. He also threw 4 innings against the Pumas in the NBC World Series. Helped the Larks get the win, and he pitched 4 2/3 against the Seattle Studs. He was one of the Larks' best arms last summer. Has seen limited action this season, but has looked good, and he looks good here in the 4th inning. Strikes out his 3rd of the day, 5th of the season, and gets the first out of the 4th inning. One away base is empty for Drew Norson, who grounded out to Ben Ferenzi for the 2nd out of the ball game. All 3 outs in that 1st inning were ground outs to Ferenzi at second base. First pitch strike here. Brown refusing to throw balls here in this inning, has only thrown 1 against the 2 batters he's faced. One ball, 1 strike. Brown from the stretch. Pitch home. This pitch misses the zone. 2-1. At the plate. Again, is Norson. He's out of Doane College. He's a Fort Collins native. Larks had that is a base hit as it goes over the head of Garrett Gruhl. That's nothing you can do about that one. That one took a nasty hop, and nobody's getting that one unless you're 10 feet tall. Norson will pick up his first of the day, but going back to Doane College, Larks had Max McGuire on the team a few years ago. Played 2 years for the Larks. Originally, he went to Missouri State, then transferred to Hutch. After he went to Hutch, he went to Doane College up in Nebraska, where Norson's at right now. And then he played at Fort Hays, got hurt, couldn't play baseball anymore, so he coached last year for the Larks. Ground ball left side, Hutchison not able to make a play on it. It bounces out into the grass. Back-to-back base hits for the Fort Collins Foxes. Jamison now at first, Norson at second. Jackson Lund will step to the plate, working with a little bit of frustration after innings 2 and 3, where he gave up 3 runs in the second that had that call not go his way in the last inning. Ground ball goes to the right side. Gruhl fields it in foul territory. Runners will have to go back to their out. 0-1. Hendon now up and throwing in the pen for the Larks. Still 4-zip Hayes. It's the fourth batter of the inning. Lund, in his first at bat of the day back in the second inning, he struck out swinging. Was part of back-to-back strikeouts against Cade Brown. Check swing. Doesn't matter in the zone. 0-2. He's upset with the call. Against the Larks on the first at the plate, we know what he did on the mound, but at the plate it was an 0-for-4 effort for him. No balls, 2 strikes. Brown looks at the runner at seconds. Goes home. Grounder up the middle. Jaslove slides forward, tags the bag, and throws to first. A 6-3 double play. What a great play from the shortstop from Tennessee. Lund now 0-for-6 against the Larks this season. Larks turn their second double play of the day. The first one that Jaslove's been a part of. And it gets us down to the fourth inning. To Hayes half we go. Your Larks lead by 4. Leading off the bottom of the fourth for the Larks, Brady Evans. He singled to right field in the second inning. Got to third base, but was left there. 1-0 count to Evans, becomes 2-0 after the second pitch, misses outside. Evans looking for his second hit of the ballgame. It's his first action at the plate in a little bit after battling an injury. Evans' 14th game this season. His last time at the plates was on the 8th. And it was a really good effort. 4 for 5 with 2 singles, a triple, and a grand slam was just a double shy of the cycle. It was a phenomenal game for him. 7 runs driven in. Base is empty. Ferenzi on deck. Terosian in the hole for Hayes. Outside, 3-1 shows the counts. Hendon continues to get warm in the pen. Cade Brown has given us 4 scoreless innings. (3-1) home to the Larks DH. Inside, he pulls his hands in and Pulls it to the left field corner. Foul. Bounces up against the Larks bullpen. Three balls, 2 strikes to Evans. Evans did not play in the Larks' last game, obviously, and did not play against the Foxes in Fort Collins. Payoff pitch home, off his left shoulder. Lund says that Evans leaned into it and motions for his head coach to come out of the dugout and argue it. But Evans will be the second hit batter of the game. Lund has done a lot of complaining tonight and hasn't really changed any calls. From my viewpoint, did not look like Evans leaned into it. Just the second time this season he's been hit by a pitch. Runner at first base with nobody out. Ferenzi, who was the second out of the second inning, flying out to Dylan Hupfer in left field. Hupfer robbed him of extra bases. Evans is taking off for second on the first pitch. He will slide in safely, but on the hit and run, Ferenzi grounds out to Norson, unassisted at first base.
It's the top of the Larks batting lineup. Tonight's 8th Street Liquor Beverage batter, the center fielder, number 1, Jack Terosian.
Terosian at the box. He is 0 for 1. He was hit in the second inning, got to second base, and he flew out to Jordan in right field in the first inning. Evans in scoring position. Larks went silent in the first, but have scored 4 runs in the past 2 innings. Well struck to right field. Jordan keeps moving back. He's in front of the warning track. Evans tags up, heads up 90 feet to third base without a throw. Terosian now 0 for 2 with 2 flyouts to right field, but Evans has advanced on the past 2 pitches, each 90 feet. 2-way for Hunter Rosson at the 2-hole. He's 0 for 2 today. Has cooled off a little bit in Hayes, but still want to be one of the guys out there on the turf right now. It's still plenty warm. Rosson chops this one up the middle. Fleckner bounces for it, grabs it and throws to first in time. Larks will leave Evans at third base, the first time they don't score since the first inning. To the 5th we go. Fox is scoreless. Larks with 4 runs. Top of the fifth, Sam Hendon takes over on the mound. Cade Brown gives us 4 scoreless innings. Tosses the rock to Alexander City, Alabama native. Leading it off is Brendan Jordan. He struck out swinging against Brown in the second inning and will swing on this pitch. 1 ball, 1 strike, top of the fifth, and a 4-0 ball game in favor of the home team. Sam Hendon with some family in attendance tonight. Sees this fly ball go to right field. Hunter Rawson's at the wall. He looks up. It'll be a solo shot from Brendan Jordan. Just scrapes the top of the wall and gets the Fort Collins Foxes on the scoreboard for the first time today. Larks lead cut to 3. 4th hit of the day, first run for Fort Collins.
The catcher, number 9, Landon Irva.
Brendan Jordan hits his first home run of the season. That is Sam Hendon's 4th earned run of the season. Before his outing on the 9th, he had not allowed an earned run since June 4th. Bunt from Landon Irvin goes foul, no balls and a strike. Hendon's 11th appearance of the season, all appearances in relief. He is 2-0 with a save, 19 2/3, striking out 16. He's given up just 4 walks. 0-1 delivery, line to left field, and it will bounce off the right side of Larks' bullpen. No balls and 2 strikes to the catcher, who flew out to Hunter Rawson in inning number 2. Irvin out of Henderson State. He's a Forney, Texas native. Oh-2 grounded up the middle. Ben Ferenzi moves right. Takes a second, throws to first in time. Ferenzi will have a 4-3 ground out at second base for the 4th time today. He's been a part of 6 outs because of that double play in the 3rd inning as well. He's having a good defensive day. Larks with just 1 error through 4 1/3. One away, base is empty. Pitch goes up the middle. Austin Jaslove dives forward. It goes past his leather in the center field to Terosian. Turner Jamison aboard for the 2nd time today. His first hit, he reached on a Hutchison error in the 3rd inning to lead it off. Hupford to the plate, we're at the bottom of the order. It's the left fielder out of Fort Hays. He grounded into a 5-4-3 double play. Hutchison, Ferenzi to Gruel. Each team now with 5 hits, but the Larks have scored 3 more runs. Check over at first. Jameson's in safely. 2 Jamisons on the roster for the Fort Collins Foxes. Henry Jamison, cleanup and playing 3rd. Turner Jamison playing 2nd and batting 8th. Fly ball to the right side and foul. Defensively, the Larks the same way they were to start it. It's Dreiling in left, Terosian in center, Rawson in right field, Hutch at 3rd, Jazz at shorts, Ferenzi at 2nd, Gruel at 1st with LaRue behind the plates. Check over at first, goes off the back of Jamison. Gruel chases it to the wall. Inning-ending double play off the table. Hupfer can not ground into another one. And a runner moves into scoring position. Tough turn of events, just went off his back and allows Jamison to move into scoring position. 0-1 count to Hupfer after a couple pickoff attempts. And then gives a look at the runner at 2nd, delivers home. It's flown into right field. It will be foul. Rawson doesn't give it too hard of an effort, recognizing that it will be out of play pretty early. Cade Brown gives us 4 innings, gives up 3 hits, 1 walk, no runs, leaves 2 on, strikes out 3. Oh, 2 home from Hendon. Just missed outside. LaRue tries to frame it. They will say it did run outside on the breaking ball. Game 1 of 3. Larks will take on the Fort Collins Foxes tomorrow for Game 2 at 7:30, and then same thing on Saturday, 7:30 games from here until at least Monday, just because it's going to be triple digits for about the next 10 days in Hays. It is warm up here in north central Kansas. So normally games at 7 p.m. We're going to be at 7:30, so be sure to make notes so you're not tuned in Larks Network 40 minutes early wondering why we haven't started yet. 2-2 home, swung on and missed. Hendon picks up the strikeout and gets us the second out of the 5th inning. That is Sam's 17th strikeout of the summer through 20 and a third. Top of the order, Henry Fleckner. He singled in the 3rd inning. Is 1 for 2. He tried to steal on LaRue and was the 4th runner LaRue's thrown out this season. LaRue leads the team in runners caught stealing. The catching staff of Halter, Evans, and LaRue have each thrown out at least 1. Evans and Halter have thrown out 1. LaRue has thrown out 3. Line drive goes to Jaslov. He has quick reflexes. Catches it to the left side of his head and ends the 5th inning. Fleckner now 1 for 3. Fort Collins gets on the board from the Jordan solo shots. They trail by 3 as we go to the second half of the 5th. Bottom of the 5th, the 3-0 Hutchison will lead things off for the Larks, who went scoreless in the 4th. First pitch from Lund, and the zone, or not in the zone, 1-0 counts. Just a 3-run lead for Hays. Lund returns the mound for his 5th inning. Lars' game changer has gone silent, so not sure what he's working with on his pitch counts. But in the Larks' last game, Lund threw 144 pitches over the course of 10 innings. 1 ball, 2 strikes. For Collins' game changer has him sitting at 43 pitches. 2-2 misses his own. Full counts for the guy who's 0 for 2 today. He popped up to a tall in the first, grounded out to Lund in the second inning. Lone batter not hit between innings 3 and 4. Full counts. LaRue on deck, Dreiling in the hole for Hayes. Lights on here in Hayes. Larks up by 3 over the Foxes. Payoff pitch home. Hutchison swings and whiffs at it. Lund celebrates on the mound as he picks up his first strikeout of the day.
The Larks catcher, Tyler LaRue.
One away, base is empty for LaRue, who's grounded out to Jamison and Fleckner, both of them lead-off at-bats of the inning, and both groundouts on one pitch in the at-bats. Pitch home, outside on a fastball. Lund, 4 innings pitched, 5 hits allowed, 4 earned runs, no walks, 1 strikeouts.
Everybody got
1-1 count, 1 away in the bottom of the 5th inning. LaRue looking to get on the base for the first time today. Will swing at this one. Tipping the glove of Irvin. 1-2. For Collins defense, Hutfer in left, Atall in center, Jordan in right. Jamison's at second and third, Fleckner at short, Norson at first. 1-2, ground ball to the left side. Jamison dives for it. It goes out to the grass. LaRue has his first hit of the day. He is now on a 4-game hitting streak for the Larks. 6th of the day for Hayes.
The left fielder, Dylan Dreiling.
1 from LaRue, 1 from Gruel, 1 from Jazz and Evans. 2 hits from the man coming up to the plate, Dylan Dreiling.
University of New Mexico, number 25, Cam Walton.
Walton, a courtesy run for the catcher. As Dreiling steps up to the plate with a single and a triple. He has scored 2 times today. Just a double and a home run shy of the cycle. Singled in the second inning, scored on the Jazz Love single. Triple in the third inning, scored on the Gruel sacrifice fly. He was part of a 4 consecutive singles second inning. All singles were to right field from the 6 through 8 hitters. Excuse me, 5 through 8 hitters. Runner takes off. Dreiling lines it into center field. Walton was taken off and will be able to go to first to third because of it. Dreiling went first to third in the second inning off the Gruel single. Walton does it in this inning off of the Dreiling single. It's a 3-hit effort for Dreiling, and he puts runners on the corners with 1 away.
The first baseman, Jared Gruel.
Fleckner has some words for Lund, his pitcher on the mound. Fort Collins yet to send a guy to the bullpen. It's Gruel at the plate. He is 1 for 1 with a single and a sacrifice fly. RBI and a run scored on the day for the man out of Groesbeck, Texas. Dreiling at first, Walton at third. First pitch to Gruel above the letters, 1-0 counts. Jazz Love on deck, Evans in the hole for Hayes. Larks playing every night at Larks Park up until Wednesday. Games this Thursday through Tuesday. 3 games against Fort Collins, 2 against the Tribe, 1 against the Dodge City Aces. Catch all the games at Larks Network. First pitch is Thursday through at least Monday, all at 7:30. Not sure what we're going to do Tuesday yet. Check over at first. Drawling takes a couple steps back, stands up safely. But again, it's going to be hot in Hayes. It's still warm tonight, even though it is nearly 9 o'clock here in Hayes. Sun is starting to set. We're still at 95 degrees in Hayes. Wind still coming in semi-strong from the outfield, but didn't have any effect on the ball in the top of this inning off the bat of Jordan. He's hit it hard to right and had a solo shot, so it was the first and only run of the day for Fort Collins. 2-1 count for Garrett Gruhl. Thinks about swinging. Makes the right move. Lund looks and tries to get the call from home plate umpire Randy Jordan, but his stare down doesn't affect the umpire. As the pitch missed outside, 3-1. Pitch number 5, the AB. Sent off the skinny part of the bat. Past the Fort Collins dugouts. Gruhl has won a drive and at least one with that swing. Took a hard cut, just timing and barrel location off. Full counts for tonight's first baseman. Check over at first. Walton started to creep down the third base line in case there was an overthrow. There was not. Corners in with one away, trying to keep Walton from scoring from third base. And it'll be a walk on the payoff pitch. Lund is frustrated. Weinberg stands up in the Fort Collins dugouts. Looks like he's going to come out to the mound and then does it. Well, we got a pause with a visit going on right now. Let's talk about a guy who's tearing it up right now. Our guy, Leo Geminian, playing in the European Championships right now for France. Off to a stellar start. Look at those numbers. 778 average right now with a 2.0 OPS. He has scored 6 times and driven in 6. France is currently 2-0. Leo says they need 2 more wins to qualify for the World Baseball Classic. He went 5 for 5 against Bulgaria with 4 runs and 2 RBIs. Also stole 2 bases. And then against Slovenia, France beat him 19-0. He was a leadoff man in both games. Against Slovenia, he went 2 for 4, scored 2 runs, drove in 4, hit a home run, and stole a base. He's leading France in hits, tied for first on the team in runs and RBIs. But France off to a hot start, outscoring teams 37-2 so far in the European Championships. They're first place in Group B, in a group that has Bulgaria, Slovenia, and Ireland. They will play Ireland tomorrow at 11 a.m. local time there. I'm thinking that's about 16-ish hours from where we're at in Hayes. Not sure where in Belgium they're playing, but they will play Ireland, and they should beat them, and they'll need just 1 win to go to the European, to qualify for the World Baseball Classic. Line drive from Jaslov goes to right field. It'll be a 2 RBI double for Austin Jaslov. After Gruhl walks, Jaslov becomes the 4th walk to reach consecutively in this inning. Cam Walton scores. Dylan Dreiling scores. Gruhl moves to third base. Jaslov now a 2 for 3 effort with 3 RBIs. Dylan Dreiling has scored 3 times today. Gruhl has scored 2 times. 6-1, Larks Jackson Lund. Frustrating inning continues. Larks lead by 5. They get that run back from the top half of the inning and add more to it. I'm going to do my best to get the numbers from Geminian in tomorrow's game when France takes on Ireland, and get them to you on the broadcast tomorrow night. But yeah, Leo's off to a crazy start. 778 batting average. That is ridiculous. This is a proud moment for the Larks. This guy is playing for his national team against the European national teams and is absolutely on a tear. According to the French Federation, too, who he's playing for, the country of France, he's the first player trained by the French Federation to play D1 baseball as well. It's Brady Evans at the plate. He is 1 for 1 today with a single and a hit by pitch. Jermaine in Belgium right now, but he's put up good numbers against the Fort Collins Foxes in his 3 years here. He's scored 2 times, picked up 4 hits, drove in 3 runs, and stole 3 bases against them. Evans last year versus Fort Collins, 1 hit and 1 RBI. He grounds this one down the left field line. It'll miss just foul. He's robbed of 2 RBIs. Jazz at second, Gruel at third base. Excuse me. Yes, Gruel at third. I said Gruel scored his second run of the day. He's only scored 1 back in the second inning, but he'd like to score his second here. Jazz Love just picked up RBIs, number 30 and 31. He is now tied with Palmer Hutchison for third place on the team in RBIs. Evan chops this one off the plate. 1-2 will stay the counts. We started this inning with the Hutchison strikeout. Since then, LaRue and Drouling have singled. Gruel walked and along at bat. Jazz Love just doubled. Time called. Infield in. Larks with only 1 out here in the 5th inning. It's the 6th batter of the inning. Larks 8 hits today, 3 in this inning. That walk from Gruel, the first walk they've gone off of Jackson Lund today. Evans is swinging on the 1-2 pitch. It goes to Flechter, playing in, pays off because he's able to force Gruel back to third base. Evans now 1 for 2. A single had been hit by a pitch and grounded out. Ferenzi to the plate. He is 0 for 2, due for a hit. He is the lone Lark, actually not the lone, him and Hutchison, the lone Larks, to not see the base path today. He flew out to Hupfer in the second inning. A really good play from Hupfer. Had to be frustrating for Ferenzi. It was looking like it should be extra bases, especially with the way he barreled the ball up, and then he grounded out to Norson in the 4th inning. First pitch, he sends it off the top of his bat into the backstop, 0-1. Still empty bullpen for the Fort Collins Foxes. Lund in the 70s for pitch counts. The Fort Collins Foxes' last game was a 12-2 loss against the Game Day Saints, getting run ruled in 7 innings. They have won 2 of their last 3, but lost 9 of their last 11. This is their first game in 6 days. Before they played the Larks on the 1st, they were on an 8-game losing streak, and they snapped it against Hayes. Your Larks have won 7 of their last 8 and have won 6 straight league games, and have won 8 of their last 9 league games. 1 ball, 2 strikes to the second baseman out of Melbourne, Australia, Ben Ferenzi. Ferenzi, 411 on base percentage this summer. He's picked up 22 hits and 6 walks. Been hit by a pitch, a team leading 11 times. 1-2. Lund will get the strikeout and have some swagger as he walks off the mound. Strikes out the first and third outs of the 5th inning. Larks leave their 5th and 6th on of the day, but they score 2 runs off the Jazz Love double. They lead by 5 as we move to the 6th. Top of the 6th, leading off Tyler Ratal, the 2-hole 0 for 1 on the day with a walk. I said incorrectly in the last inning that Dominions game against Ireland will be in about 16 hours. It's going to be, I believe, in about 7 hours from now. It's about 4 a.m. right now in Brussels. Didn't have to travel that far from France to Belgium, their neighboring states, but a long way from Hayes, Kansas to the European Championships. He'll be back in a few days along with Larks infielder Tanner Rice. Those two guys have been out for little bits. The 0-2 ground left side and foul. Larks gets Brady Evans and Hunter Rawson back tonight. Rawson battling an illness, Evans battling an injury. That's all at the plate out of Los Angeles, working an 0-2 count against Sam Hendon. Hendon allowed 2 hits and earned a run, no walks, and left 2 on base in his first inning of pitching today. Fly ball to right field will be out of play. Norson on deck, Jamison in the hole for the 5-15 Fort Collins Foxes. Huge gap up the middle and the infield. It'll be Sky to left field. Dylan Dreiling moves back, makes the catch in front of the 349 marker in left center. Against the Larks, the first out of the 6th inning. 1 up, 1 down. Hendon's now retired 3 in a row. Drew Norson will step up to the plate. He is 1 for 2 today with a single. A single in the 4th inning got to second base, but then the Jazz Love DeGrule double play ended the inning, and he was left and on the base paths. Foxes have left 4 on today. They've scored 1 run, gotten 1 walk, have 5 hits. They trail by 5 here in inning number 6. Pitch here to Norson will miss the zone, 1-0. Larks in the bottom half of the 5th inning brought 7 to the plate, 3 hits and a walk. They scored 2, left 2 on. They've had 8 hits, a walk, 6 runs, and left 6 on. 1-1. Home misses the zone. 2 balls and a strike. Game 1 of 3 against Fort Collins. We'll see him tomorrow and Saturday. All games at Larks Park. Both games with first pitches at 7:30. 2-1 misses the zone. 3-1. Pitch home on the hitter's count. It'll miss inside. Hendon walks his first of the day.
The third baseman, number 23, Henry Jameson.
Henry Jameson to the box. He grounded out to Ben Ferenzi to end the top of the first inning. Singled in the 4th inning, but then was out on the Jackson Lund double play. Bullpen's quiet for both squads. Hendon delivers. First pitch home in the zone, called strike. 1 counts. A 1 count goes between LaRue's legs. It allows Norson to get into scoring position. It'll bring Keith Harper out of the dugout. We'll take a quick pause while the 1-1 count is active.
What we do here is go back.
One ball, 1 strike to Henry Jameson. Pitch number 3 is going to be swung on and foul tipped into the glove of Tyler LaRue. Hendon's last outings was against the Outlaws, where he threw 3 innings and got the win. 3 hits allowed, 2 earned runs, a walk, and a couple of strikeouts. Before that, he pitched against the A's. Got the win, 2 innings in relief, no hits, no runs, no walks, striking out 1. Season high strikeouts, 5. That happened on June 12th against the Rough Runners. We struck out 5 of his 6 outs. Hendon's pitched 7 league games, 4 non-league games. That's a league game. Larks are currently 1.5 games back. The Liberal just refuses to lose. Every time the Larks win, so do they. Fly ball to left field. Dylan Dreiling gets under it. 2 flyouts to the Tennessee commits for the 2 outs in the 6th.
Number 15, Jackson Lund.
Jackson Lund will step up to the plate. He's 0 for 2 in his day against the Larks, 0 for 6 this season against the Larks. Striking out in the 2nd against Brown, grounding into a Jazz Love Gruel double play. Starting to get dark in haze, but the lights keeping the field bright, and Hendon will look to send us to the bottom of the 6th. 2-away, runner at second base. Hayes leads by 5. First pitch home. Will miss the zone. 1-0 counts. Larks have played in 10 more games than Fort Collins this season. They played non-league games. 2 balls, no strikes to the 5-hole Lund. Good attendance here on a really hot night at the ballpark. Fans going to show up no matter what the temp. 2-0, called strike, 2-1 counts. Larks had yesterday off. They've had 2 off days this week, Monday and Wednesday. I hope they enjoyed them because it's going to be 5 more days of baseball in a row after tonight's. Ground ball to left side. Hutchison runs in, fielded to his side, throws to Gruel at first base to get out number 3 of the 6th inning. 4 to the plate and a walk. Butts 2 fouls to Drowning, a ground out to Hutchison. Ends the 6th inning. Larks will take a 5-run lead to the bottom half. Top of the 6th, top of the order for Hayes. Jack Tarozzi in the center fielder will lead things off. Ground 1 pass up, fast Lund on the mound and send it to center field. Tarozzi gets his first of the day and gets Larks fans half-price drinks for the remainder of the 6th inning. Fans always love it when the beverage batter gets a hit, especially when it's at the leadoff man of the inning because they have a lot of time to get down there and get to Larks Nest. Already a ton of fans moving from the grandstand down to the fan pavilion to either get the concession stand or the Larks Nest to get half-price drinks courtesy of Jack Tarosian. Rawson to the plate. He sees a pitch, lines it past Norson, and will have a single. It's his first hit of the day. Maybe not a single. He's going for 2. You betcha it's a double for Hunter Rawson. These 2 guys both commit within a week of each other. Tarosian committed to Creighton, Rawson to Ohio State, and it takes us to the KCK third baseman Hutchison, who I imagine will commit to a school before the end of the season for the Larks. 2 in scoring position, Rawson at second, Tarosian at third for the Larks. Lund on the mound. He's pitched 5 innings, and there's nobody warming up. They threw him 144 pitches in this last game against the Larks, and they're going to keep throwing him here. This year, Purdue Northwest, a D2 school. He made 7 appearances, going 0-2. Actually, those are his 2021 numbers. No 2022 numbers listed for him. But in that 2021 season, 29 1/3 innings pitched, 25 earned runs. 14 walks, 17 strikeouts. Opponents hit .348 against him. Hutch at the plate, 0 for 3. He's One of two Larks did not see the base paths today. And one of two Larks without a hit, but he'll pick it up here as Jamison dives for it, doesn't get it. Ball goes in left field. Humphrey throws home. Hunter Rosson will score from second. It's an RBI single for Hutchison. Drives in two. Terosian scores his first of the day, and so does Hunter Rosson. Now Ben Ferenzi, the lone Lark, without a hit today. Hutch now in a 9-game active hitting streak. Still nobody out. A runner in scoring position. It's 8-1 Larks with Tyler Rue coming up to the plate. That was the 11th hit of the day for the Larks. Palmer Hutchison extends his team lead in RBIs. He now has 33 this season. Not team lead, he's tied now. And my guy's wrong. It's LaRue at the plate. He picks up another singles in back-to-back innings. 4 straight hits for the Larks. Runners on the corners with nobody out. So Hutchison with RBIs 32 and 33. Jack Terosian scores his 33rd run of the season. So does Hunter Rosson. Those two guys are tied for the team lead. Walton to go run for his buddy LaRue at first base. Runners on the corners for Dylan Dreiling, who's 3 for 3 today with 2 singles and a triple. Dylan, despite being the only guy to not play in a college baseball game on the roster for the Larks, leading the team in OPS 1.283 coming in this game. That'll go up today as he scored 3 times and has a triple and 2 singles. Garrett Gruhl has an OPS of 1.32, but he's played in a third of the games Dreiling has and doesn't qualify for the team lead. But he's had a great start to the season. No balls in, a strike after the fly ball goes foul. Hutch at third, Walton at first base for the Larks, who have scored 2 this inning, 2 runs in back-to-back innings. Action in the pen for the Foxes. They got a couple of righties throwing. Larks have Brady Rose up in their pen. 0-1 home. Dreiling thinks about taking a cut. Watches it get to the zone. 0-2. .61 senior Lund on the mound from Purdue Northwest, the Michigan native, going up against the Hayes native, who will be a freshman at Tennessee in August. Walton takes off for second base. The second time he's trying to steal a base today, and it'll be flown off. Larks tried to hit and run with him earlier, and he went first to third on the Dylan Dreiling single in the 5th inning. Still 0-2 count for Dreiling. Gruhl on deck, Jaslov in the hole for Hayes. Hit and run to the Fort Collins dugouts. We will stay 0-2. Jackson Lund, mid-70s on the pitch count, has thrown strikes on 51 of his 75 pitches and has started out 22 batters with a first pitch strike. This is the Larks' 4th time through the order. We're at the 5-hole, Dreiling in the 6th inning. Doesn't want to go down on strikes. Has found a few off with 2 strikes on him. This one will be a no-doubt ball, 1-2. 4 hits in this inning, singles from Hutchison, LaRue, and Terosian, and a double from Rosson. All runs have come through 1 through 7 the order for the Larks. Terosian with a run and an RBI, Rosson with a run, Hutch with 2 RBIs, LaRue with a run scored by Cam Walton, his courtesy runner. Dreiling has scored 3, Gruhl has scored 1 and driven in 1. Jaslov has scored 1 and driven in 3. 8-1 Larks in the bottom of the 6th inning. Nobody out. Runners on the corners and a 2-2 count for Dreiling. Working a good at bat against Lund. Lund looks over his shoulder at Walton. Walton doesn't run. Pitch is really high. Irvin has to jump to snag it. It's 3-2. All those foul balls proven worth it. Dreiling works himself into a full count. Larks have only picked up 1 walk today. It was Garrett Gruhl who walked on a payoff pitch in the 5th inning. We'll see what Dreiling does with his payoff pitch in the 6th inning. It's home. Walton's taking off. He will be safe at second base, drilling out on strikes. For the first out, 2 in scoring position for Garrett Gruhl.
The first baseman, Garrett Gruhl.
Stolen base for Cam Walton. Has been courtesy running since he injured his arm pitching in Colorado. It's his first stolen base as a Lark. Drilling out for the first time today. 3 for 4 effort for him with 2 singles and a triple. Garrett Gruhl is at the plate. 1 for 1 with a single, a walk, and a sacrifice fly. He drove in a run in the 3rd inning, scored in the 2nd inning. Got all the way to the 3rd base with just 1 out in the 5th inning, but was left there. Larks had left 6 on. They left the bases loaded in inning number 2. And 2 on in the 5th, 1 on in the 4th. 1-0 home. He barrels it up, drives to left field. Hupfer's moving back. It'll drop and it'll score. Hutchison from 3rd. They're going to wave Walton home. He's sprinting home and he will score from second base. 2 RBI double for Garrett Gruhl. He now has 3 RBIs today. Walton scores his 2nd of the day. And Palmer Hutchison scores for the first time today. 1 through 7 spots in the order of each scored. Larks lead at 10-1. And that'll be enough to finally get Ty Bopp, the assistant coach of the Foxes, out of the dugouts. Gruhl standing at second base, 1 away, up by 9. Larks need a scoreless 7th inning and 1 more run in this 6th to run rule the Fort Collins Foxes, as Cam Walton scores again his 2nd of the day on the season for the man out of New Mexico. That is run number 3. Gruhl drives in RBIs 13 and 14 of the season. Hutchison scores his 27th run of the summer. Gruhl at second base for Austin Jaslove, who's working a 2 for 3 day with a double and a single and a pop bounce. Driven in 3 and scored 1. 1 through 4 in the order have each hit and scored in the 6th inning. 5 out of the 6 Larks batters before Jaslove have gone to hits. A double from Rawson and Gruhl. Triples from LaRue, Terosian, and Hutchison. 1-0 counts to Jazz. Jazz, the 7th batter of the inning. He's the 7th batter in the order. Larks brought 9 to the plate in the 2nd, 7 to the plate in the 5th. Pitch outside, 2-0. Jackson Lund threw 144 pitches against the Larks on the 1st, as I mentioned a few times, but just a few days before that, on the 25th, he threw 134 pitches. Today he is approaching 90, and he misses outside 3-0. Location off, his body language off here in the 6th inning. 2 righties up in the pen for Fort Collins. Looks like Brady Rose is done warming up for Hayes, or at least is taking a break. Actually, now it's a righty and the lefty. Nope, 2 righties in the pen for Fort Collins. That's my bad. Jaslove walks on 4 pitches, is the 6th runner to reach here in the inning, and we will get a pitching change. Weinberg comes out and will pull Lund. Larks have scored 4 in the 6th inning. 6th inning, they are looking for more. New pitcher into the game, Matt Peterman out of Denver, Colorado. He's a Oregon Tech commit, where he'll go up to the Beaver State and play some NAIA baseball. Played at Bishop Majbov High School in Denver before heading to Fort Collins to play for the Foxes. He's only pitched in one game this season. It was an outing against the Rough Riders on the 27th. He came into the game, didn't record a single out, was credited with the loss and the blown save. Gave up 3 hits, 2 earned runs. That was a 8-7 win for the Rough Riders, who walked it off in a 4-run 9th inning. It's Brady Evans at the plate. He has a 2-0 count. He's the 8th batter of the inning, 8th batter in the order. 1 for 2 today with a single hit by pitch and the ground outs. Him and Ferenzi, the lone Larks, did not score in this contest. Ferenzi on deck, Terosian in the hole for the Larks. Two on, 1 out is Gruel at second base, Jaslov at first. Evans skies this one to shallow left field. Fleckner moves back from shortstop and gets the outs. Larks need to get Gruel home from second base in the scoreless 7th inning to run rule their 10th game of the season. They got run ruled on Tuesday, a little bit of a taste of their own medicine. It was uncharted territory to be on the other side of things and just a not fun game. Ferenzi at the plate, 0 for 3 today with a fly out to left field, a ground out to first base, and a strikeout swinging. Bottom of the order, bottom of the 6th, Hayes up by 9. 2 away. First pitch to Ben, misses the zone, 1-0. Brady Rose starts throwing a little bit again in the pen just to get warm again after being done warming up. Still a righty up in the pen for Fort Collins after they bring in Matt Peterman. Lund throws 5 1/3, 8 earned runs, give up 13 hits, walking 2 guys, hitting 1, striking out 3. And the zone here to Ferenzi, 1 ball, 2 strikes. One-two delivery, we'll wait on it. Peterman steps off the mound, off the rubber. Ferenzi, the Arizona Western Matador, at the plates. Goes from batting second in his last game to batting 9th today. Pops this one up into center field. 4 guys move towards. It's going to be Fleckner, who runs from shortstop and gets the 3rd out. Larks pop back-to-back outs to him in the 6th inning and leave 2 on. They score 4, pick up 5 hits, and take a 9-run lead to the 7th inning.
Meet me down at the ballpark, where I'll be rooting for the Hayes Larks. All of my friends are gonna be there too. Nothing in the world I'd rather do than grab a hot dog burger and a cold beer. You'll hear me yelling out a big cheer, 'cause whether they win or whether they lose, I'll be rooting for the Hayes Larks. Hayes Larks! I'll be rooting for the Hayes Larks. I can't wait to see a home run. I know for sure there's gonna be one. I'll call out the players by their first name. Sure am glad I made it to the game. Rain or shine, I'm gonna be there. If the stands are full, I'll bring a lawn chair. So join me down at the old ballpark. I'll be rooting for the Hayes Larks. Hayes Larks! So join me down at the old ballpark. I'll be rooting for the Hayes Larks. Hayes Larks!
Brady Rose will take the bump for the 7th inning. Third pitcher of the day for the Larks. First pitch home is to Brennan Jordan, who homered in the 5th inning. And is 1 for 2. 0-1 count. Rose wastes no time. Throws from the third base side of the rubber. Misses high. 1 ball and a strike. Rose, the Westminster, Colorado native. Spent this past year at Dallas Baptist. It was his first year there after spending a couple years at McLennan and winning a JUCO World Series. He gets swings and misses on 1 out of every 4 pitches this summer. We'll need one here to keep that ratio going. As a 2-1 counts. Outside 3-1. He pitched against the Fort Collins Foxes through 4 1/3 in the starts on July 1st. It was almost laughable. Guys were just... The dugout was quiet for the Larks when they're normally chirping just because Fort Collins could not touch this kid. He was getting everything past him. Their timing was way off. They couldn't get a hit. And then we had to pull him in the 5th inning because of his pitch counts. But he looked really good. It's his 8th outing of the season. He walks his 5th batter of the summer. Jordan aboard for the 2nd time today. So it's 4 1/3 for him. And the starts, no hits, no runs, a walk, struck out 8. It was a season high in strikeouts. In his next outing 5 days later, struck out 7 in just 3 innings against the A's and got a 3-inning save, his first save of the summer. His last outing, most recently on the 10th against the Outlaws, 2 innings in relief, no hits, no runs, no walks, striking out 5. Struggling a little bit with his location here in this inning. 6 balls and 1 strike. He will step off the mound to get a mental reset. Normally throws strikes on about 66% of his pitches this summer. He's thrown 176 strikes. He misses on the 2-0. 3 balls, no strikes to Landon Irvin. Rose has been the most dominant pitcher the Larks have had this summer. His 3-0 pitch will miss the zone, and it'll be back-to-back walks. He has thrown 9 pitches, 8 of them balls here in this outing. That'll bring Keith Harper out of the dugout. He wants to have a chat with his guy out at DBU because this does not look like the Brady Rose we have seen most of this year.
Everyone can see your anger is misplaced, and I'm gonna tell you.
gonna stop. Come on, listen to me.
Larks usually respond better after mound visits with Keith Harper. And they're going to trust Brady Rose to do the same here. He has 2 on with nobody out in the top of the 7th inning. His first pitch to Turner Jamison misses the zone, 1-0. Here's a strike. Heater with velo on it in the zone, 1-1. Jamison 1 for 2 today with a single in the 5th inning. He's been aboard 2 times as he reached on the E5 in the 3rd inning. Check swing, strike 2. Rose a 6'4" right southpaw out of DBU. He's a Westminster, Colorado native. Pitched for the Larks in 2020, made 9 appearances, striking out 28. 1-2 will miss the zone. 2-2. Pitch number 5, the AB, just outside. Rose leads the team in strikeouts with 29 this season, despite throwing 10 innings less than the guy in second place. Payoff pitch home. It's a heater fouled off. Go with the one that you've thrown in the strike zone. That's what he does. Sends the 4-seam home and it gets sent out of play. Rose without an earned run this season through 15 1/3. Payoff pitch home. He will walk. The base is loaded. 3 walks for him. He had only walked 4 prior to this outing and walks 3 consecutive. Jamison at first, Irvin at second, Jordan at third. That's Irvin's courtesy runner at second base. Not sure who it is. I believe it is either Tyler Mondeloyd or Connor Jeffers. Bottom of the order, Dylan Hupfer, the Fort Hays State Tiger, 0 for 2 today. First pitch strike from Rose's first of that kind. 0-1 of the day. Hupfer struck out in the 5th inning against Sam Hendon. Faced Cade Brown the 3rd inning, grounded into a Hutchison to Ferenzi to Gruel double play. 1-1 counts. Rose can go from the windup with the bases loaded, and that's what he's doing. 1-1 grounded to Ferenzi. They will trade a run for 2 outs, but won't come up with anything. Jaslov doesn't get the ball. It goes off his glove, and then he is very lackadaisical getting to it, and so then it allows a run to score. If he had moved quickly to the ball, he could have easily got the down at home. Instead, the Outlaws score 2 on the Austin Jaslov error.
Top of the batting order for Fort Collins, the shortstop, number 3, Henry Fleckner.
Jordan scores his second of the day. Irvin scores his first of the day. It is 10-3 Larks. All of a sudden, we're bringing in Brady Rose. You're thinking this guy is going to work a 1, 2, 3, 7th inning. Then we'll go get a run in the bottom half and run rule the Fort Collins Foxes. And then things not looking normal here. And the Larks give up 2 runs so far in the 7th inning. 1 ball, 1 strike to the top of the order. Henry Fleckner, who is 1 for 3 today. He got caught stealing by LaRue in the 3rd inning. Fort Collins without a hit this inning. Larks crowd wasn't very happy with Jaslov after he took his time getting to the ball. Kind of just shrugged it off at shortstop. And it's a guy who has a good short memory defensively and at the plate, and that's what you need in baseball. It is his 9th error of the season. 1-2 home and misses the zone. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Rose, his next pitch will be his 19th of the day, according to the Fort Collins game changer, but I'm not sure that is right. Yeah, he's at 24 now and working a full count against Henry Fleckner. because of the error. The Fort Collins game changer shows 2 unearned runs. Swing and a miss. And Brady Rose will strike out his team-leading 30th of the season. 1 away, 2 on for Tyler Attal.
Number 38, Tyler Attal.
It's 10-3 Larks with 1 away. And Hopfer at first, Jamison at second. Attal 0 for 2 today. He walked in the first inning against Brown, struck out against Brown in the 4th inning, then flew out to Dreiling in the 6th inning. Rose, the lone Lark to see action in the postseason tournament this year in the NCAA. He pitched against Air Force in the Austin Regional. Swing and a miss here. 1 ball, 1 strike. Rose this year at DBU, 30 and a third, striking out 41. 21 appearances, 20 of them in relief, just 1 starts. Did pick up a save and held his opponents to a .222 batting average. 1-1 in the zone, a ball and 2 strikes. DBU a D2 school, but they play baseball at the Division I level. They've had a lot of success sitting in the Missouri Valley Conference. 1-2 home, fouled off. Out one, caught a car in the parking lots, and everybody at the stadium's attention turns to the parking lot, making sure it's not theirs. One-two home, misses the zone, 2-2. Due for the Larks in the bottom of the 7th inning. Top of the order, Jack Tarosian will lead off his 3rd inning of the day. Larks brought 9 to the plate in the bottom of the 6th, the second time they brought every hitter to the plate in an inning today. 7-run lead for Hayes in the 7th inning, the 2-2 home from Rose. Outside, 3 balls, 2 strikes. Larks 0-1 against Fort Collins this year, losing on the 1st of July to him. We went to 10 innings and then they walked it off on a wild pitch. In that game, Rice scored a run, LaRue scored a run, Hutch scored a run. RBIs from Hutch, Brown, and Dreiling. 5 pitchers in that game. Rose 4 1/3, unearned runs, 0 runs. Actually, not even unearned runs, just 0 runs for him. Hendon came in through 1 2/3, no runs for him. Meredith, 2 innings, an earned run. Grimsley, 1 inning, 3 runs scored, none of them earned. Lukart, 2/3 of an inning, no runs. He was the one who had the wild pitch that allowed Fort Collins to walk it off. Payoff pitch home. Rose walks his 4th of the day. Batter number 7 of the 7th, it's Drew Norson, who singled and walked in his previous 2 plate appearances.
Drew Norson.
Brady Rose has been dominant for Larks this season, but that's the thing about baseball. One day, things just aren't going right. And you can bounce back and throw a no-hitter the next. I mean, that's just baseball. That's what happens when we played the Cannons, lost by 11, and then bounce back and put up 10 runs through 6 innings in our next game. Pinch hitter is Connor Jeffords. Pitch gets away from LaRue, and a run will score the 3rd run of the inning. It is 10-4 Larks. Inning-ending double play off the table now. One ball, no strikes, 2 in scoring position for Connor Jeffords. He's a Northeast Nebraska Community College player. He's a Denton, Texas native as well. Pinch hitting for Drew Norson, the first baseman out of Doane College. He finishes his day 1 for 2. Swing and a miss. 0-2 moves the counts. On the scoreboard, umpire corrects it again. 1-2. Rose delivers. The southpaw gets his second strikeout of the inning and gets the second outs. Strikeout number 31 for Brady as of the summer. Strikeout number 61 as a Lark. 2 away, 2 on for the 8th batter, Henry Jamison, who swings and misses at it. Out of the cleanup spot today, he is 1 for 3. Another swing and a miss. Rose looking like himself, finds himself in a groove in the last 2 batters. Got the confidence boost he needed after the strikeout and needs one more strike to get the 3rd out. And Jamison tries to break up his timing, gets time. 0-2 home from Rose. Fastball line to the net. We will stay 0-2. 4 walks, no hits in this 7th inning. They've scored 3 runs and trail by 6. Oh, 2 in the left-hander's batter's box. LaRue snags it to save a run. For Collins, 5 hits today, 6 walks. 4 runs, they've left 5 on base. Now 7. Rose strikes out. All 3 outs of the 7th inning, and it takes us to the 7th inning stretch. Hayes leads by 6. Drac Terosian to lead things off for the Larks. He's working a 1-for-3 effort, singling in the 6th and scoring. He drove in a run in the 2nd, getting hit by a pitch, but the base is loaded. 0-1 counted. Is still Matt Peterman on the bump. He faced 2 batters and got a pop-up and another pop-up, both to Fleckner from Ferenzi and Evans. 0-1 to Terosian. He takes it opposite field and into the Larks bullpen. No balls, 2 strikes, bottom of the 7th. Larks for the first 6 innings, 13 hits, 2 walks. They scored 10 runs and leave 8 on the base paths. Peterman shakes off Irvin. And delivers home from the stretch. Terosian sends it to right field. It'll be a leadoff single. Back-to-back innings start off with the Terosian leadoff single. And he gets Larks fans half-price beverages again.
Ice and all drinks the remainder of the half inning, courtesy of A Street Liquor and Jack Tarosian.
So played Hunter Rawson out of Ohio State. 1 for 4 today with a run scored after a doubling in the 6th. He's seen action at second base and other spots in the infield, time in left center, and is getting the start in right tonight. First pitch to him will miss the zone, 1-0. Rawson, utility player in baseball, was a really good football player back at Aledo in high school as well. Showed off his speed on the football field and then gets a showed off on the diamond. Tarosian starts to break for second. We'll go back to first as this pitch misses above the letters, 2-0. Jack on the base pass this season has stolen 15 bases. He's tied with Leo Jiminian for the team lead. He's staying here. 2-0, misses eye level. 3-0 to Rawson. Rawson headed to the Big Ten in August to play for the Buckeyes. Just committed on Monday. He had been committed for a while, just took his time to let it be known to the world. A 3-1 hitters counts for number 6. We'll get time before he throws the 5th pitch to the AB. Tarosian is taken off. 3-1 in the zone, and he will steal his 16th bag of the day. He overslides the bag and will be out number 1 of the 7th inning. Overslid it, tried to get back in, but Jamison applied the tag. It was a good jump, and he was, again, safe initially, and then just too much power sliding in. He's been caught stealing 3 times this summer. Payoff pitch to Rawson. Larks go from having a runner in scoring position with nobody out to the base is empty with 2 outs all over the course of 2 pitches.
The third baseman, Palmer Hutchinson.
Rawson 1 for 5 today. Takes this to Palmer Hutchison. The former Hayes High Indian is 1 for 4 today. Oh, 1 count. Do it for the Foxes in the 8th. Lund, Jordan, and Irvin. Hutchison singled and scored in the 6th inning. He's a 3-hole in the lineup, batting as a 3rd hitter of the 8th inning. Ground ball goes to the other 3rd baseman is Jamison, who throws across a diamond in time. Larks get a leadoff single from Tarosian, but still bring the momentum to the plate in the 7th. To the 8th we go. Hayes leads by 6. Top of the ninth, or top of the eighth, excuse me. Brady Rose back to the bump. Leading it off is the pitcher, Matt Peterman. Jackson Lund finishes his day at the plate 0 for 3 with a strikeout, a Jaslov DeGroote double play, and a ground out to Hutchison. 0-2 quick. Jordan on deck, Irvin in the hole. This one high, 1-2. Larks do have a few guys up in the pen. One of them throwing as Rose strikes out his 4th of the day. All 4 outs. He's gotten have been strikeouts.
The right fielder, number 27, Brendan Jordan.
I believe it is Kobe Grintley that the Larks have up in the pen. Hayes leads by 6. Jordan to the plate, 1 for 2 with a walk and a home run. It was a solo shot in the 5th inning, and he's scored on the Jaslov air in the 7th. He calls time. Rose doesn't even change his position on the mound. He'll be ready to go. From the windup, Rose delivers. 0-1 in the zone, 0-2. 1 ball this inning for Rose, who struggled a little bit with his location in the 7th inning. 3-pitch strikeout for the Westminster native. 1 2/3. He has 5 strikeouts, all swinging. Number 34 on the season. And number 62 as a Lark. Excuse me. Yes, 34 in the season, 62 as a Lark. Pump fly to the right side. Garrett Gruhl chases it, and so does LaRue, but it bounces off the top of the Fort Collins dugouts.
Great work from tonight's ball. Shaggers are going to get $1 courtesy of the Hayes Police Department. Thanks for your help.
A 1 from Rose, just outside, 1-1. 2 up, 2 down, both on strikeouts. It's Irvin at the plate, who walked in his last at-bat and scored. Before that, he was 0 for 2 with a fly out to Rawson and a ground out to Ferenzi. Fouls another one over to the right side. 1-2 moves the counts. Game 1 of 3 against Fort Collins. Larks have yet to lose a series this summer, and are looking to take game 1 tonight. 1-2, base is empty, 2 away. It'll miss inside. 2 balls, 2 strikes. LaRue slid left on the inside and low pitch to snag it. 1-2 home, line down the right side, but it will be in foul territory. Rose will get set back up on the mound. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 away in the top half of the 8th inning. Hayes up 10-4. Rose from the windup. Line drive to Jaslov. Reaches low, picks it up, and gets the 3rd out of the inning. 1-2-3 inning for Brady Rose, looking like his old self here in the 8th inning. To the bottom half we go. Hayes up by 6.
Go,
Larks half of the 8th. Tyler LaRue will lead things off. He is 2 for his last 2 after starting out 0 for 2. He has singled in innings 5 and 6, and Cam Walton ran for him in both innings and scored both times. Hayes up by 6. New pitcher into the game, Cesar Galvan out of York College. He's an Eden, Colorado native. The Texas native sends this one to deep left field. Well struck, but Hupfer gets it right in front of the warning track. LaRue won't get the home run and will instead be out number 1 of the 8th. Takes us to Dreiling, 3 for 4 with 2 singles and a triple. He has scored 3 times today. Galvan hasn't pitched this year for the Fort Collins Foxes, and in 2 years at York College, he has not pitched there either. Misses the zone, 1-0. Goes to York, which is an NAIA school in Nebraska. You can kind of tell by his delivery that he's not a normal pitcher. And he misses outside, 2-0. Lund went 5 1/3. Peterman 1 2/3. And this pitch is sent to center field. A tall you think would learn. He was playing in on Dreiling earlier and had to race back for one that dropped. And Dreiling will send one over his head again. He has to run back, and Dreiling has 2 triples on the day, 3 triples in his past 3 games. 3 for 4 day for him. He's in scoring position, looking to score his 4th run of the day with Gruel coming to the plates. Dreiling, 16 singles, 13 doubles, 3 triples, and 5 home runs. 2 singles today and 2 triples. Gruel steps to the plate, 2 for 3, actually 2 for 2 with a single and a double, a walk and a sacrifice fly. He has scored a run and driven in 3. LeBron stands shoulder width apart, goes from the windup on the first base side of the rubber. First pitch into Gruel in the zone, called strike. Garrett Gruel out of Groesbeck, Texas, playing in his 9th game for the Larks. Came in this game batting .452 with a .514 OBP, and both of those will rise after this game. Saw a pitch he liked, barreled it up, but was a little too eager. Pulled it into foul territory, 0-2 counts. Dreiling at third base with 1 away. Hayes scored 6 runs between innings 5 and 6. Then went scoreless in the 7th, going 3 up, 3 down. Gruel will be the first strikeout of Galvan's collegiate career and be the second out of the 8th inning. We're down on 3 pitches.
The Larks shortstop, Austin Jaslow.
2-away runner at third for Austin Jaslov. 2 for 3 day with a walk. He has scored 1 and driven in 3. Two-way pitch in the zone, breaks in. 0-1. Due up for the Fort Collins Foxes, down to their final 3 outs. 8, 9, and 1 hitters, Jamison, Hupfer, and Fleckner. Fly ball to right field. Jordan moves in and gets it to the 3rd outs of the 8th. Drowning gets his 2nd triple of the day, his 4th hits, but they leave him at 3rd base. Into the 9th we go. Hayes leads by 6.
Meet me down at the ballpark, where I'll be rooting for the Hayes Larks. All of my friends are gonna be there too. Nothing in the world I'd rather do than grab a hot dog burger and a cold beer. You'll hear me yelling out a big cheer, 'cause whether they win or whether they lose, I'll be rooting for the Hayes Larks. Hayes Larks! I'll be rooting for the Hayes Larks. I can't wait to see a home run. I know for sure there's gonna be one. I'll call out the players by their first name. Sure am glad I made it to the game. Rain or shine, I'm gonna be there. If the stands are full, I'll bring a lawn chair. So join me down at the old ballpark. I'll be rooting for the Hayes Larks. Hayes Larks! So join me down at the old ballpark. I'll be rooting for the Hayes Larks. Hayes Larks!
I'm a simple man, don't wanna complicate ya.
Top of the 9th, Brady Rose starts out with 2 strikes against a pinch hitter. Excuse me, not the pinch hitter. It's Turner Jamison hitting for himself. Thought it was a different guy. I was wrong. He is 1 for 2 with a single and a walk. He's been aboard 3 times because of an error. Oh, 2 again. Rose delivers. Fastball fouled off. Fort Collins down by 6. They're down to their final 3 outs. One ball, 2 strikes. Rose delivers, gets a swing and a miss. And he only has 1 out today. That's not a strikeout. Through 2 and a third, kind of like against Dodge, where he threw 2 innings and struck out 5 of his 6. He has struck out 6 of his 7. Through the first 2 innings, he did strike out 5 of the 6 outs he got. He is a strikeout pitcher. Leads the team in strikeout per 9 innings rates, and will continue to climb. 0-1 to Dylan Hupfer. He has been 0 for 3 today. 5-4-3 double play in the 3rd, strikeout in the 5th, reached on an error in the 7th. Oh, ball. 0-2 ball. Larks will take on Fort Collins tomorrow. First pitch at 7:30 for the middle game of the series. We'll see you back at the park or right here on Larks Network. Swing and a miss. Another drop 3rd strike. Back-to-back strikeouts for Brady Rose. He is retired 7 straights. 6 of them on strikeouts. Kind of looks shaky through the first 6 batters he faced, but since then is looking like Brady Rose. 2-way base is empty for the top of the order. Henry Fleckner 1 for 3. He's singled in the 3rd and was caught stealing, and is down the count. No balls and a strike. Rose continues his tempo. The southpaw delivers. Pitch number 2, and he gets lined to the backstop. No balls, 2 strikes. Larks looking to win number 24 this season. One more strike to do it. Time is called. Fleckner trying to throw off Rose's timing. The 0-2 from B. Rose popped up in the infield. Ben Ferenzi is very audible, calling off everybody, and he gets the out. It's a 1-2-3 ninth for Brady Rose. He retires 8 in a row to end the game. Larks in this game, they pick up 15 hits, score 10 runs, leave 9 on base, get 2 walks. As for the Foxes, 5 hits, 6 walks, 4 runs. They leave 7 on the base paths. Sam Hendon gets the win. Cade Brown only went 4 innings in the starts. It's Hendon's second win. It's his second win in the past week or so. Larks win it 10-4. 3 RBIs from Gruel and Jaslov. 3 runs scored from Dylan Dreiling. Hutchison with 2 RBIs as well. It's a 4 for 5 day for Dreiling, a 2 for 3 day for Gruel. Those guys led the way for the Larks, who will take on Fort Collins tomorrow for Game 2 of the 3-game series. They win their 24th game of the season. They're 24-7, 17-3 in league play. In second place, just 1 game back, winning 7 straight league games, and have won 8 of their last 9 games. Foxes fall to 5-16 on the season overall and in league play, 13 games back. They're now tied with the Rough Riders for last place and have lost 10 of their last 12 on this season. Larks win it here 10-4. We will see you tomorrow night. First pitch at 7:30 Central Time as the Larks take on Fort Collins. Each team has won 1 at home against the other this season. So we'll see you tomorrow night. This has been Carson Ackerman on Larks Network. Thank you for tuning in. We'll see you tomorrow.